All right. We are live for the VOD. What's up? We're taking a look at a Void replay right now.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me get my headphones in.
Oh, I've been.
Okay, so let me just look at what we were supposed to be focusing on. So this is we looked at one of your Void replays before. We said let's identify when you can punish an offlaner. Let's do your absolute best to maintain creep equilibrium, and then I gave you a couple tricks. I said protect the pause 5 as they're pulling, deny your creeps, and keep enemy range creeps alive. I also think I talked about dragging the lane back and being really good about creep dragging.
Yeah, I think I'm getting better at it. It's just I feel like sometimes I do it, but the creeps don't drag, and maybe I'm just doing it wrong in that case. But yeah, there's times where I feel like I'm doing it, but
Then
probably
the creeps
just doing
leave.
it wrong. Yeah.
And then we all in the mid game. I have 2 points for you, which is when you get your farming item, try to provide value by shoving the lane safely. And then don't use time walk to initiate, because then you're vulnerable for 4 seconds.
Yeah, I think in this game I might have just kind of not turned off my brain, but there was times where I probably time walk, and it felt like I couldn't really do anything. Oh, not.
Quick note about runes is the best play is just to protect your 2.
Okay, I see. Never go for the aggro.
Not never, but the best play. Like in this play, it's pretty shit.
Right.
So just hang out there, or just go to lane and start quelling down trees.
I see.
And then just tell your team to protect these 2. Okay, so let's take a look at your creep equilibrium. Here's a decision you've made, and I think this is a good decision. Is especially if this guy doesn't have much regen, is you're saying instead of denying the range creep, because the range creep was getting attacked and it was 1 or 2 attacks from getting killed, you choose to attack the centaur. That's a good option. A next level option would be to bait the centaur into your range creep and smack the range creep once or twice or whatever, and then you're like, oh, look, don't you want to kill this thing? And then when he comes in, then you smack him.
So, but the thing is, in this case, since I know he has hoof stomp, right? He has his 1. Wouldn't he just stomp and basically get that range creep?
Yeah, if you stand right next to the creep, then yes, he's gonna do that. But this is an area of effect of I'm not sure how much it is, but yes, it's big enough. It's short enough where you can manipulate that in an intelligent way. But this is still fine laning. You got some good trades. And this. You're just too close. That. If you know he's gonna hoof stomp, then you need to just respond accordingly, and that's probably play a little bit away from it's gonna be hard for sure. And that's why it's the next level move. All right, so right here, this is a time for you you don't need to be aggressive right here, because you're gonna take you're going to take creep aggro, and it's going to be a pretty shit trade for you. Instead, you should have creep dragged.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah. So I think I just smacked once, and then I think I dragged it back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so that's a losing trade. So you got. Let's see. We'll slow it down. So you're here. You took range creep, so you just lost 959, so almost 23 HP or something like that.
Right.
5 again, 2 again, 10, then 13, and then 49. And you did 1 auto attack to him.
Right.
So when the difference between this and the optimal play is going to be significant. You want to win trades, and that is a losing trade. Right. So this Dark Willow is here. This Dark Willow isn't getting a bounty rune. Dark Willow is not fucking off somewhere. So when you're smacking the offlaner, even if you have a regen advantage, you still want to be as efficient as possible. And creep dragging and making this range creep vulnerable is sort of the first thing you should do if you want to be able to win those trades. Right. Because another thing that's going to happen is if you think you're stronger, which you are because of the regen situation, this guy's saving up for a ring of health. you can zone him by threatening trades in a way that makes sense. So you're gonna pull the creeps. He's gonna pull the creeps, and then you can prioritize killing his range creep, the one that I'm messing over right now, and then that's gonna force him. He now has to make the decision. He says, do I chill here and try and get the deny? And then it's fucking 3 creeps to his 1. So now it's a favorable trade for you. So now you're not going to get a ton of damage down. Or he says, I'm going to run past and I'm going to go for the CS of my own. And then he's putting himself in a really shit situation, and then you can smack him the entire way.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Nice. So let's see if you're getting good CS, I think. 3 to his 2, not bad. That's good enough.
Yeah, see, like right there, I feel like I felt weird. Not here, but like when I feel like there was some times where I tried to creep pull, right? Creep aggro back, but it just wasn't going. So I just said, okay, whatever, and I just kind of let it go.
So let's see here. You're not doing it at all.
Yeah. Not here per se, but I feel like in some cases,
Alright,
where I should have been
time walk this off, by the way.
I see.
Dark Will
instead of walking back.
Yeah, Dark Will is up here, right? You're basically trading mana at this point too, like 100 mana for 40 mana, and you're also trading like a shitload of health. So like time walk, a good mechanism to let you know when you should time walk is 2 seconds is about 2 auto attacks. So if you've ever been attacked twice, then consecutively, like somebody's just auto attacking you, then you can time walk, and then that'll heal most of that damage. So like a stun in an attack, you 100% time walk.
Okay, I see.
How you do?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't as fast as it should have been. Like, you should know anytime this guy's using his skill when the Dark Willow is AFK or away somewhere.
I feel like I think like after he got his Vanguard, he just this lane just felt really hard.
Totally.
Like I didn't feel.
Should be pressuring this Centaur. Like, Centaur's a hard lane, right?
Yeah.
But this Dark Willow is digging around in the jungle. I don't know what the Undying is doing, but the Undying is making this 2 1 versus 1s. Right. And you don't want this to be 2 1 versus 1s. You want this to be 2 versus 2 or 2 versus 1. So if this Undying is in the lane smacking the shit out of this Centaur, it's gonna be a lot easier. And this skill, you shouldn't use it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
This is your most important laning skill for securing kill. Like, if you ever see this Dark Willow, you hear her use 2 spells right now, right? This could have been Time Walk and then Time Dilation on her, and she's dead.
Right.
So if I were you, itemization, I would just rush Mask of Madness and go to the jungle. I wouldn't get a Wraith Band. I wouldn't get boots or anything.
With you. You understand that, right?
I think here I went for. I think I ended up went for boots, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so boots isn't gonna do much here at all.
Right.
Boots won't help you survive the lane versus Centaur. It's not gonna help you farm. So really, what you should do is just abandon lane.
Okay.
As soon as you can. Try and get your levels. Try and just Mask of Madness and dash. So yeah, it's good. Alright, so Fudge comes and rotates. That's actually really sick. This is just farming. Don't even worry about helping. Once your time dilation is down, no kill threat, and you're just trying to
Right. I think we got the Willow here too, so yeah.
So this is now going to be impossible. You can just, in these hard lanes, the only thing you can do is creep drag and pull it back into your tower.
But then in that case, wouldn't it always be pushing if it's always under my tower?
No, because it's a Centaur.
Okay, go, because he's going to be shoving it in.
Yeah. And I mean, that's fine too. Like, if you want to shove the lane, if you're against a Viper or something like that, that's also a good option. Like, you can win the lane by shoving it, as long as your support is pulling. Because the Viper wants to stay in lane, and he's not going to walk out to the safe lane camp or the small camp to disrupt that pull. The support's going to do that. Right. So if you push this lane against pushing and pulling is kind of like the best way to win a lane for the most part, because you're creating the Viper's going to be here probably, or like an OD or something like that. They're going to be here. They don't have a fast mechanism of pushing the lane typically.
Right.
So you pull this small camp. The enemy 4 is going to rotate over here, and now you're creating a 2-on-1, and you can just kill this dude.
Right.
And that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of experience, especially in a losing lane. Like you want to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you've gone for power treads. You can only go for power treads when you're ahead. Otherwise, you just need a farming item. That's gonna treads does nothing on your hero for farming. If you were Slark, then this does a shitload for farming because you can tread swap, and then you can use your W to just secure CS in the jungle. So as soon as you get treads and level 6 on Slark, you can fuck off.
Right.
But on a hero who doesn't have a farming mechanism like Void, you need the same thing with a Luna. Treads would do nothing on a hero like Luna. So you need to get Mask of Madness fast.
Right. I don't think I went for Mask this game. I just kind of entirely skipped it.
That's fine.
Even though I should have.
I mean, it's all good. I think last game too is some of the game. The last Void replay we looked at, I think we should have gone Mask of Madness as well.
Yeah, so. I think I'm just because I'm liking both builds, and I guess I just don't know when to do which one. Just not going Mask, and then versus going what do you call it, mill?
Yeah. So
so
treads, 1,400 gold. Right. So you're basically saying, I need 1,400 gold plus the Maelstrom, which is 2,700 gold. So that's 5,000 net worth.
Right.
That's when this character, the one that you're playing right now, with this build, that's when you can jungle, is when you finally get Maelstrom.
Right.
How long do you think it's going to take? What minute point are you going to be able to get Maelstrom in this game?
Well, with this start, would probably feel like 12, 13 minutes.
I bet it's going to be 15 minutes.
Okay.
Unless you get a couple kills or something with Chrono.
Right.
It's going to be so fucking slow. Whereas if you were Mask Madness, the first item, you can now just jungle. You can even do ancient camps with the base Mask. It's a little hard, but you can.
Right.
So you can only go power treads Maelstrom when you're ahead or you have a good lane.
I see.
That's I'll consider it a greedy build for how slow it is.
Okay. So, yeah, like right there, it just feels like I can't do anything anymore because he has his Vanguard.
Right. And you can't do anything. So it's really useless to be here, but this itemization is kind of keeping you here.
It's just keeping me in the lane.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could be farming 4 camps a minute. All 4 of these camps you could be farming, which is a lot more than actually just staying in lane.
Right.
And the best case scenario, you can farm the lane, push this out, farm this camp, farm this camp, farm this camp, and then farm the lane, push it out, farm this camp, farm this camp, farm this camp, push it out, farm this camp, farm this camp, farm this camp, push it out. That would be optimal. That's really what you're looking for. You get so fucking lucky.
Yeah.
And okay, so now you're back in the game, and you'll notice, you're actually, as soon as you get this lifesteal item, you're actually in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
So this is to me, this is very much proof that you went the wrong item.
Right.
I am now saying give this tower up, because you're against good players. Hypothetically, these players may not be good, but I'm gonna treat them like they are good. If they were good, you would be dead.
Yeah.
If you go up to cover lane, you're just gonna die. The Stark Willow and the fucking Centaur, they are going to kill the fuck out of you. So you should not be in lane. Unless it's near your tier 2. That's kind of the only time I would think of myself as safe.
Right.
So this is a good play, you guys kind of threatened. You haven't used your Chrono yet, which is a big deal too.
Right.
And so, I'm definitely seeing some things where I can give some tangible feedback for this Void hero and for heroes like it. So one thing is when you have an ultimate, like use it.
Yeah.
So like when I play Void, sometimes I will bring out like support items. Sorry, smoke to me, and I will smoke it like as soon as I'm like level 5.5. Bring out a smoke, and then you can rotate, mid, and you get a kill on the mid laner.
Right.
So like you're trying to think of mechanisms and ways of impacting the game. That's like that's how you have to gain MMR or become better. Is you have to learn how to like win games, and it's through an accumulation of small decisions that you make. Right. So like this small decision to go power trades, those small decisions to have unfavorable trades, those all add up. Like you're against this lifestealer who actually looks like he's won his lane.
Yeah.
And so like that's a big deal.
Yeah, it felt like it. He definitely did.
And like look at his lifestealer. He's farming all these neutral camps and shoving the wave, so he's getting a lot more out of the game than you are right now.
Right.
That's also lifestealer's like advantage. Nice so now let's see once you have the free lane. Let's see
Killing spree. I feel like right there I should have probably.
Yeah, you should let the start blow up.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I probably should have used not Chrono there, but
14 minutes. So I think this mask of Possessed Mask really sped up your farm a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that your team is just running around killing people. I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but like they're doing work. So they're making a lot of space for you. And like this is a good play. Like I totally think this is good. You force a TP, so this guy's stuck here. I would probably now TP down here because like two of their heroes have TP. This guy's especially like this guy just TP'd.
Yeah.
So like your major kill threat right now is probably Witch Doctor, Dark Willow, like Centaur +1 basically.
I guess here in this situation I kind of felt safe because I had like most of my team around me.
Sure. Safe is good.
So I was like, okay, we could probably take this tier 1 together, and I'll just go ahead and hit, after that, hit creeps.
Yeah, so like, there's kind of two things wrong with that, I would say. Like one is like your team is coming here, like that's
right.
This guy's a shadow boy. It's very honestly. So like
it worked somehow.
Yeah, it worked exactly. So like this is a good play, like taking this tower, right? But it's not an important tower. This is a much more important tower. And so
see.
If you've brought people out to this part of the map and they're stuck here because they haven't used their TP, then think about like towers as like giving you farm.
Right.
That's how as a carry player, that's how I think about them. Like you're taking map control. This tower, does it open up the triangle camp? No, it really doesn't.
No.
Like you have this tower, which is okay, it's dead. You still have this tower here, and you still have this. So you have 2 more towers to take before you can take this farm away from the enemy.
Right.
Whereas if you take this tower, you're now getting these 2 camps. You're getting this camp. You're getting this camp. You're getting this camp.
Right.
So like and you're kind of opening up your optimal farming pattern, which involves ancients. At this point, exactly. So like. You have time walk, so you have the ability to like jump up and like you can be really efficient in your farming. So this tower, like as much like it may make sense to take it, and I think it does. And then I think the next wrong thing here is you haven't used Chrono. Like this is your defining skill. Right?
Right.
So
I haven't used it since I got it.
Yeah, it's been 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you're not looking for opportunities, and this is a big part of the hero. Is like use Chrono, and like I don't think you're gonna really. Right now you're in the process of learning of like how to farm efficiently and how to like shove lanes and those are all like new concepts, and it takes a lot of like mental gymnastics to kind of like figure out where you should be on the map at any given point.
Right.
So like I still think you should practice that more so than using chrono. So I don't think it's going to be like a. It's not going to be a homework item necessarily, because like.
Okay.
You still you need to learn the basics of, how is my lane going, how to trade in a lane, how to, what itemization should I go, and then how should I farm, and what sort of what pressure on the map should I put, and that's just with your farming ability.
Mm-hmm.
There's once that becomes second nature to you, then you need to start thinking about why am I not using my chrono.
Right.
This is a resource, and you basically have the ability to win a team fight or kill somebody every 160 seconds. Mm-hmm. That is a huge deal. If you can get 3 people in a chrono and kill them, if you can get 2 people in a chrono and kill them, that's a gigantic deal. So, right. Using this off cooldown, like an optimal void game is going to be you are farming as much as you can. And then every 160 seconds, you are using chrono to kill people.
Right.
That would be optimal. We can't really think that everything's going to be optimal.
Fresh made.
But
right.
It's right here. As soon as this guy TPs, he's your main threat. These 2 guys. This guy's used the ultimate, so get the fuck out of here. Just literally go TP here and go take the valuable tower.
I see.
That's more impactful than what you're doing.
Okay.
It is nice that your squad shows up here, but it's not really your responsibility to take this tower, because you should know that this tower is kind of stupid. But even right here, TP, go be useful. This is exactly what we don't want to see. We don't want to see. We never want to see your team up front. And you being in the least useful position in the game.
I see.
What does it benefit your team being here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
100% nothing. You also have chrono up, so you could be with your team. But
yeah.
I don't want you to be with your team ever. I want you to be farming towards your team.
I see.
So TP mid right now. Push in this lane, right? Now you're farming towards these guys, right? TPing to this tower and then pushing this in would actually kind of be a grief because of how aggressively these guys are.
Right.
They're over here, and if the enemy team notices you TP, they're just gonna run at you, perhaps.
Right.
So TP mid, farm this in, right? Your team is so aggressive, but somebody's gonna have to TP this tower, and I bet it's gonna be one of your teammates. So now they're advantageous position. Yeah, see, this is the role of the carry in a lot of games. When you're farming, when you're not farming, it's when you're strong, you shouldn't TP back. This Necro of all heroes shouldn't TP back because he is literally the strongest hero in the game right now.
Right.
You guys just ward this area, so now by forcing this TP back. Your Pudge is even more useless, by the way. He's fucking off by himself. By forcing this TP back, now you're saying, de-ward me.
Yeah.
You guys just secured the most valuable resource for the Radiant, and then we're abandoning it. And we are abandoning it because you are in the jungle.
Right. That makes sense.
To their middle tower.
So yeah, when you're ahead, get the fuck out of the jungle. You should be farming this Deuce's camps. You should not let this Deuce farm any of these camps. You should be You should be taking them. Mm-hmm. And that's how he creates pressure, and that's how he choke out people. Is you farm the camps before Deuce gets them, or you're with your team. All right, nice way to stack. So yeah, if you ever get ahead in a game like this and the enemy comes back, it is 100% because you're just not putting any pressure on the game.
Right. I feel like there was a lot of games where I had that lead.
Mm-hmm.
I had way before our coaching sessions.
Sure.
There was a couple games where I was I had a huge lead, in lane, everything, and then I just lost because I didn't do my due diligence, as a carry.
Yep. That's good enough. Learn the process of learning. So right here, you can trade a bit. You have this Necro, he has a Reaper sight, so you can actually kill these people. Hey, not a big deal. Okay, so let's take a look at the game state. You see two TPs bottom, right? If people TP away, you should just kill these people. See, I bet the Necro's gonna go in. He seems like he's playing pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I think he wanted to, but I don't think we did.
Yeah, again, so like you're going back, you're retreating to the jungle. So 100%, this is like a major red flag. You should not be in the jungle. You should be in the enemy jungle. Like this should, like if I was you right now, I would be running this tower down.
Okay.
So let's go look at one of my games. And let's see. So I had a hard game, kind of like you on, I think. I've been losing a lot.
It happens.
I want to see if this is the game. Am I dire? No. I mean, we can go to one of my Faceless Void games. Let's go FV. Where's Faceless Void?
Somewhere.
I think I have high rating on it. Rating. Swear to God. You see it? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Feel my mace!
It should be stats. Should be stats.
There we go. Oh man, what the fuck? I'm losing so many games on it. Holy shit.
Oh, you haven't played since 2020 though.
Yeah, basically. Okay, let's see here. Nope, don't even have this game. Oh, fucking hell, man. Oh, okay, how do you like find replays of yourself downloads? I have a game in mind that I want to look at, and I think I have the replay. So let me try and find. No, okay. I'm just gonna go on my Dota buff right now. I'll bring it up. I think it might have been this game. Yeah, this game. Okay. Let's see. So this is against like actually a very competitive team. I think that I have this replay. I must have it downloaded. Cool.
Yeah.
So this is when Void was a little bit stronger.
Oh yeah, I remember that patch. Yeah.
So let's see. Okay, hopefully this is it. I think it's it. Oh, I even have an Undying.
Oh wow, it's like almost the same lane.
Yeah, dude.
The true heroes are the ones
Let's go player perspective. Let's go on the Void. So you'll notice I'm going bash first because like I have an Undying, so I actually should win trades. I don't really look at. I'm not even looking for, you know, time walking away at this point. I'm gonna go Wraithband because I know that I can win the lane against these noobs. These really weak heroes. So this is a little bit different than going against the Centaurs, you know, Rush Vanguard.
Right.
You'll notice that we lane dragged, and I'm doing exactly what I said, where you know you pressure the range creep, and then that allows you to get good trades against the enemy offlaner. Missed my CS tower. Let's go.
CS wolf.
Yeah. Okay, so the lane has been fucked over by
the tiny.
Exactly. Back in the lane drag. There's a little. There you go. Anytime you use a spell, I time walk it. I think I'm looking for like level 2 bash. That's probably like, you know, my timing in this lane.
This is before he had the time ticking, right?
Yeah, the time dilation. Yeah, so like come use skills off time walk. Not really trading with this guy when he has his shield up.
Because you're not doing anything to it.
Yeah, exactly.
This middle tower is under attack. First blood is on the ground. We're already looking for more.
Like you'll notice I'm not forcing anything. I'm not, like, you know, I'm still prioritizing CS. Right? Like,
well, what did you...
It's not the best CS.
This one was not for you.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
So I do have a question. When it comes to, I guess, the enemy offlaner pulling, or not the offlaner, but rather their 4 pulling this big camp right here, that big camp. What should I do? Should I try to stop it, or like I guess because there's like a couple games where there was a game that they were like mainly pulling that camp, and they were dewarding every time it was being blocked, you know. So in that case, what do I do?
I mean, there's not much you can do. Like, you're gonna go out there and you're just gonna get so it's actually pretty short.
Because in that case, yeah, because like I didn't know what to do exactly, because it felt kind of hard, you know, to do anything. I couldn't even farm, you know. It felt really rough that one game, so that's why I was wondering, because I saw that they were pulling a lot in this case, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, like if they're pulling, like, you know, that's life. You know, maybe what you do as the carry is you start shoving the lane so they actually can't pull. And that's probably the one, like, you know, offensive item you can do to prevent that is you can put, you know, like you can force where the lane, because if the lane's here, they can't pull.
Right.
And then your team can pull. So that's probably what you need to do. I'm gonna say just like, you know, I'm getting level 6, so I get my Undying to buy a smoke, right? I hit this creep once, we get level 6, we get the smoke. This is kind of what I was saying about, like, you know, fucking...
Using...
Exactly. I come here, I see this guy, okay, really bad opportunities. Wait for him.
Yeah.
So I'm using Chrono on cooldown, like since literally this run still we have. Like, just kind of walking around, killing people. 0-7, let's go. And this is a very good team. They've won Division 1 RD12 Masters. That's my item. Going.
Oh, this is the League lad.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Nathan and Josh.
Who?
Ka?
Yeah, I know Ka.
Yeah, and Fatal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're both of my. Josh was one of my close friends. Fatal. Yeah. So that's why I kind of heard of this fluffy, totally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Cousin had it.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I know about League of Legends, because they were telling me about it. I was watching their games every now and then.
Yeah, I played League of Legends. I won season 4 or 5 or something. Yeah, I placed 3rd and 2nd or something. Yeah, I've been playing it this season as well. Oh, this is one Iron Talent. Okay, so like, you know, you'll see I'm defending mid. You know, I am jungling a lot. I can jungle because I have a warp pass.
Then you have the Iron Talent.
Yeah, exactly. It's like sacking myself. You'll see here, I have a lane. I like jump to it, right?
Right.
I'm gonna shove this lane out. Like, they do have kill potential on me. Like they do. Like it's kind of scary. I
Like
shove
that
the lane.
tiny.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit. So like I'm shoving the lane as much as I can. As soon as I see an opportunity, I'll go in and like, you know, try and fight. You know, kill 3 kills. Yes.
Killing spree.
So like, you know, I would say, even though I only have 7 DCS, and that's mostly because my mid laner is a fucking farmy little bitch. So
Right.
Like I'm being active on the game. I would say more so than anybody on my team. I have maybe the Undying, but like, you know, I'm farming. I'm probably like pretty high on net worth, and like I'm doing stuff around the map. I just rush MKB. I don't know why. It's just making any sense.
I think that was the build back in the day.
Maybe MKB is really strong. I think it was.
Oh yeah, I think it was like at its peak.
Yeah. Like, taking camps from them, pushing towers. I have this ancient camp, but I'm not doing it. Show up here and fuck like this. Yeah.
So every time it's off cooldown, you're essentially just being more active.
Totally, yeah. I'm looking for fights to come. And like, we have a good draft, right? We have like
Yes.
4 heroes that can actually work well with it.
So in the case where, you know, that you're behind, so let's just put it in a sense where you're behind, right? And I guess Chrono, in that case, what would you do off cooldown? Would you still be looking for fights?
Totally,
or would you rather be
I mean, I'm looking for opportunities. I'm not going to force the issue because I am behind, so like it's never a good idea to like go in and be aggressive when you're behind. You need to take like smart fights. So if I see like a 2 versus 1 or something, or like I see somebody team, yeah, I'm totally going to be like, let's fucking go. Like if I know it's when you're behind, you want to take fights when you have a numbers game.
Right.
When you're ahead, you take fights whenever the fuck you want.
Right.
So yeah, here's a good example of this game where, you know, I'm chilling here. It's not the best Chrono. It's probably actually a throw.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have used these Chronos. Yeah, this Mask Madness is pretty strong. You know, it's a good build. Don't be afraid of Mask Madness, especially when you want to spend a lot of time in Jungle and you didn't have like the absolute best thing.
Right. Or you're getting kicked out the lane.
Exactly. Yeah, so you should know, like, you know, when you're against a Centaur or something, you should totally, like Chrono's about to be up.
So would it be the same way as like for like any like I guess would it be kind of the same thing if it was like an Axe lane or like
100%. Something you
Mars lane?
Timber Saw, sure. If you know you're not gonna win that lane, get the fuck out of it. And like you should itemize to get the fuck out of it. Like, you know, you're on Luna or something, you don't want to go treasure break game or something. You want to go just Mask Madness.
Okay, that's
Yeah. Alright. So I think I definitely have enough homework for you to practice. And so, like, the big things are going to be like itemization is when
right.
you're playing. Okay, so I'm going to take like team fight ultimates, like poor laners, or like not the best laners, but you're still playing like, you know, is this you? Nice, dude.
yeah.
So when you're playing like, you know, not the best laner, but you have a really good team fight and like, you know, you scale a little bit, so that's going to be like a Luna, it's going to be a Faceless Void. Let me see.
I am the Elder One.
I guess Jug would be like a similar. No, Jug should lane dominate. We'll say like Naga Siren, you know, like TB, Wraith King, like those types of heroes. Maybe even Troll to a certain extent.
Right.
Some of them have like innate farming mechanisms. Some of them don't. Like, you know, Faceless Void does not have a farming mechanism, right? He's all team fight.
Face your doom.
Oh man, I'm losing so much on him. That's my Lunas.
The dark moon comes.
Yeah, I think I'm on an 8-game winning streak with Void right now. Yeah.
No. Who else is?
I think I'd say I gained like what, almost 300 MMR since.
Nice. That's sick.
Rogue Knight.
So yeah, you're definitely doing the right things, and like you're playing pretty decent. But like, you know, it's gonna be.
There's things that can improve.
Totally, yeah. So you can improve in the trading mechanisms early, like. So we'll say drag the when you want to trade, right? You need to set up an environment where like it's going to be a favorable trade for you.
Right.
So you'll creep drag and then smack, or creep drag and then zone. Then when you're playing this Faceless Void, this Luna, this, you know, like Wraith King, or I don't even know, Monkey King, that kind of stuff. Like, you know, think about what is your lane going to look like at level 6. That's basically, or like, you know, once the first item comes out. So like, you know, if you're playing against old Beastmaster. Feels so harsh. How am I gaining MMR? What am I like? What am I winning on? I think I know it's Darkseer.
It's Darkseer.
It's Darkseer. So
forgot about Beastmaster.
So when you're like think about what is my lane going to look like at level 6. So once you're against, you know, like Necro, once you're against Nature Prophet, like level 6, Mars level 6, like Veno level 6, Timber 6, like Tidehunter 6. Like if you're playing Lifestealer or like Ricky or Slark or something, oftentimes you're like, yeah, fuck, this guy's going to get zoned out when I'm level 6. So I'm the strong motherfucker, right?
Right.
But if you're playing, you know, Faceless Void, you're like, well, Timbersaw's going to slaughter me. Like every time Chakram's up, he's just going to slap me in the face. And same thing with like Mars Alt Arena, like, you know, Axe Call with Vanguard, and like just think about once they're level 6, what's gonna happen. And you need to itemize for level 6. You need to itemize for the late game. You need to itemize for, like, you know, every part of the game.
Right.
And then, you know, your farming rotation. You need to really be aggressive with your farming rotation. And
I feel like I'm playing a little too passive whenever it comes to this.
Yep.
I guess I'm scared of, like, I guess, messing up.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
with me being scared of messing up, I'm basically griefing the whole game.
Totally. And you're griefing yourself, like, over your long-term behavior. Like if you go look at, like, you know, any pro player, right? Like with the exception of a few, like, you know, players, but like where are we? Like this troll, this weaver, right? Like none of them are in the jungle. You know, like this is kind of the game state you were in. You know, your team was really far ahead and really deep, and you were playing in the jungle. So like, don't play in the jungle. Like maybe the Terrorblade's gonna play in the jungle, but like, you know, you shouldn't play in the jungle.
I see.
You should be pushing lanes, and Terrorblade plays in the jungle because his illusions can push lanes.
Right.
So yeah, I think
kind of the same thing with like Naga, right?
Yeah,
where
exactly.
She would be in the jungle, illusion be pushing lanes as well.
Yeah, and like optimal play though, like the most impact would be like if it's a dire Naga, they're going to be in the triangle, and they send illusions to cut one wave, and then they walk and with their main guy kill the other wave, and like.
Right.
So like if I was on the Radiant right here, this would be a great. My Naga would be right in the jungle, and I'd be cutting 2 waves and farming the triangle. So like that's so much farm.
Right.
Yeah, really 3 really easily identifiable, really, like, you know, important like skills to develop. 1 is going to be, like, you know, more efficient trading in lane.
Right.
2 is going to be like proper itemization and thinking about what your lane is going to look like at minute 6. And then number 3 is going to be you know, farming aggressively so that, you know, 1, you can contribute to fights. Like you can just be closer to a fight if it does break out. Because as a carry, you want to be the last person in a fight. Typically, you want to be farming as much as you can and then kind of join the fight. And then by that time, hopefully you can make it, like, you know, turn. So like if you're Luna, you can show up when people are low HP and just, like, you know, pick them off one by one, or like ultimate. And then if you're Void, you want to come in after there's an engagement. So people are kind of like, you know, like you can either jump to the back line and kill some people, or you can save some of your teammates.
Right.
And especially because some skills are going to be used. So that's why you also want to avoid, like, come to the team fight late. So you just want to farm aggressive towards, like, you know, towards the enemy team. So you're going to take camps away from them, and you're going to be more able to fight if it does come up.
So I just have one more question.
Sure.
So I know we're only talking about like Centaur, you know, Axe and all that, right? But like, let's say like I guess a traditional offlaner, like let's say I know I've seen like Pugna every now and then.
You know, like an unconventional 3?
Yeah, unconventional 3. Yeah.
Sure.
So like in that case, let's say like Pugna, what would or Darkseer, right? Would I be wanting to get out the lane versus a Darkseer, or would I be wanting to stay in? That kind of, I guess that kind of question.
So, you know? I mean, that's a good question, and I mean, really, those questions are going to be: can you shove the lane harder than a Darkseer or a Pugna?
Right.
So, you know, typically offlaners have like lane shove to some degree. So, like, you know, if you're playing Faceless Void and this guy, you know, like, he puts 2 iron shells on a creep, like your creep wave is gonna die, and then he can go pull the big camp or go farm the big camp while you deal with shit under your tower. So like in those situations, no, that's not necessarily like the best idea. You know, but if you're against like I mean, really, there's only like Faceless Void is not going to win any of these matchups. against offlaners. So like it might just be best to go like rotate at 6, go to the mid lane or go to the safe lane or off lane, and then use your chrono and then take a tower. That might be a better play. Maybe you're against a Slardar who can't really shove the lane, but he's gonna fucking slap you. Maybe you're against a Razor, well, you can't really lane against him anyways. Maybe LC might be a good example of he can't really shove the lane, and so if you just smack the creep wave, well, he's gonna trade with you, so he trades better than you. So I don't know. But yeah, lane shove is probably the biggest factor there, and so if you can shove the lane and then go farm your camps, that's gonna be like an optimal farming rotation. That's going to be much better than jungling for 4 camps. Is if every minute you can get 2 creep waves plus 2 camps. That's better than jungling and getting 4 creep camps. So really, you're just trying to ask yourself, like, what is the maximum amount of creeps I can currently kill right now until you get your farming item? And then there's other factors. But so if you're against it, typically almost all of these offlaners are fucking strong, and they're gonna shove the lane. Like I'm looking at them, there's not a single one that doesn't shove the lane really effectively. Like you could go against Batrider. Sometimes people play Clinks 3, Windrider 3.
I'm just gonna get put out the lane.
It'll smack you until you're out. But I mean, maybe you can just use Chrono and kill him a couple times. I don't know.
Right.
So, but the major factor is gonna be, can you shove the lane harder than they can? And yeah. So I'll put that in your homework here. Okay. And then you can keep playing Void, but all these things are going to be like, they matter to all heroes. So use your abilities when they're on cooldown. Go make space, go be proactive and kill people. It's all like general things to practice, and it's going to take a long time. Like it might take you like 20 games or 30 games before you're comfortable shoving lanes. Like you might have your next like 10 games where you're literally just feeding. And every time you have a bad game,
I think I had a couple games where I was trying to shove lanes, but then I think it was there were just those late night games where you were just kind of out of it.
Sure, yeah.
You were just playing to play, and then I was just shoving lanes and I wasn't paying attention and I kept feeding. It was just one of those games.
It might have been against Smurfs or people who are just like teams that were coordinated, and if like by the end of this season, what I want to transfer the skill of looking at your own replays to you. Like that's really what I want you to get out of this is understanding and recognizing that the only way to improve is to look at replays.
Yeah, I was actually that's the replay that I just sent you is the one that I was looking at too. It's the one that I started looking at, and I kind of started identifying like the same things that you were saying.
Nice, dude.
Where I could have definitely gone Mask of Bandits. I could have left the lane a lot earlier, and then maybe I didn't really notice the farming pattern, I guess. But I did notice the very beginning, like that Mask of Madness was, I guess, the better item than Tread's Maelstrom.
Nice, dude.
So yeah.
I was your MMR I think 2 years ago or something, and what really helped me out of it is there's a tactic for getting better, and that's to take a pro replay and every 10 seconds pause and then literally write down what you think the Void will do. And if we're talking like Arteezy or something, whatever, who cares? And then actually seeing what the Void does. So if you do that for 10 replays over the span of a month, you're gonna get so much knowledge about what a pro player does. If every 10 seconds you're analyzing, what should this pro player do? Right. So at any given point, you just pause it and say, what are they gonna do? And then you'll see what they actually do, right? Yeah. And that's a much faster way of learning than playing 1,000 games and learning the hard way. You should just look at your play, look at a pro player, and try and understand the difference.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, dude. I'm gonna end the session now.
Sounds good. Oh wait, I think I'll send you the thumbnail right now as well.
Sure, dude.
It's a weird one.
Nice.
I just found it.
That's sweet.
No, I didn't find it. I just found the picture.
That's cool, dude. Oh, he gets pounded by Coach. Nice, I like it. Do you know whose like art that is? Like, to just reference.
I don't know. I just found it. I could let me do it again. Let me find it again. I
Sure.
can see if I can.
Because I just want to say like, hey, this is art by whatever.
Yeah.
All
Give
right,
credit where it's due.
Exactly, because that looks good.
Yeah, I'll definitely send it to you.
Sounds good, bro. All right. I got a meeting
All
in
right.
5 minutes. I'm out. See you, bro.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, you have a
GG's,
good
dude.
one.